Morning all, afternoon, good evening, whatever. So yesterday I changed the tire on the other side here and loaded it, and then took this one off. And the only tools that I used were regular screwdriver, regular old crowbar, and this old, I guess you would call it a tire spoon, but as you can see, it's not real big. It's probably 14 inches long, 12, 14 inches. And other than, taking the valve stem out, and then the tire was hard to break off, so I just put it down because I have the luxury of setting it down easily with the bucket, and I just turned it on the tire till it loosened up, and then I put the spoon on. Oh, I had a hammer too, but not the one on the ground there. That was nothing. And then this little 3-pound or 4-pound hammer. So then I would use the hammer and hit the tire spoon and knocked it off the rim. And then you peel it off like you would take it, and stick it in here and then pull it like this, and the tire would come out. Next, and work your way around. And then once it was off, then I kind of did the reverse order and put this one back on, and blew it up. Once it was aired up, I let it set for a little bit because it was it was break time anyway. And then when I came back, I filled it full of liquid. And so that one is about, it was light. You could move it with one hand, not really light, but because of the pivot point in the middle, when it was all jacked up, you could pick this up with one hand. Now that tire is like 300 or 400 pounds with the liquid in it, and we just use the RV antifreeze, so it doesn't destroy like the calcium chloride does. But Lily's running around. Bright sunny morning. There's Lily staying away from the road. There's an old tire. So today we're gonna put that tire back on there and load it. And that just goes to show you that you don't have to have a whole lot of big tools to change a tire on a tractor. I had also used this pole here just as in the end when I pried it, I would stick it like when the tire was completely off, except for here, I'd put it here and then push down on it, and then you could work it off. But you don't need that, but it just makes life a little easier. So today we're going to get that one on now. The other thing is, when you're doing it, you want it in this groove when you're putting it on or taking it off. If you're taking it off from the top, you want the bottom bead of the tire, the bead is this, you want it in this groove because it's smaller than this. It's like an inch different. And then you can pull it over the top. So when I'm putting the other tire on, if the inside goes on first and goes across and goes on here, then the tire won't flex and I can't get this on. So what I've had to do is squish the tire so that it sets in this groove here and not like this, right? And I use just the ratchet strap and just compress one part. Once I get it on here, the first bead on here, then I'll come back and I'll show you that and show you how I ratchet strap it.
heading for the chickens.
That's the one. Now we gotta ratchet strap it. Yep. You're going. Yeah. It can be done. Much fun, much fun.
I would never, ever, 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 ever
with the lack of the brains that I'm working with, he says.
What's that?
Said you said the lack of the brains that I'm working with?
No, I had the lack of brains.
Oh, haha. So when you start drawing that up, it'll get real tight, and then you can get this pushing in, and when it's pushing in, you can tighten it more. Like so. And the main point is just to get it so that it sets both beads in the groove of the tire, the extra space. That's the whole idea. And looks like we just about have that. Also remember to lubricate your bead. Yesterday I used PB Blaster, but it evaporated too quickly because it was hot. So I have just a little Dawn dish detergent. You can put it on with a brush, you can put it on by hand. But any mating surface that's going to slide, or that you want to slide, is what's going to be helpful. Very helpful. Okay. So now it's the same process of using the bars, working it in. It sounds simple, but it really isn't simple sometimes. At least not on this outside one. The other thing is make sure your tires go in the right direction if it's a directional tire, which this one is. Okay. So this is a tire spoon. It's flat on flat thin. This is a tire spoon. This is a tire iron. So they all have a little different advantages. So while we're holding this in, we'll try and see that rolled on. It rolled on. Kind of hold it on at the same time with your body or your leg, and it has to settle down into that groove in order to work appropriately. So just keep that in mind. Because yesterday it was all kinds of jumping out like it wants to over here now. Lily, you stay with us. Okay. Stay with us, good girl. So now it's in there, but it's on that edge, which you do not want it on the edge of the bead. So you got to push it in and keep it in there in order for it to work properly. Okay. like you need 87 different hands. And things do pop out and hit you. Okay. That went. And it's just a process of moving one bar to the next, to the next, to the, you know, kind of like that. Come on. So now we're down to a last little tiny bit here at the bottom. This is often the hardest part, right there. See how it's on? Put that little bit there. So take one of these bars out, get her down in there, which is not always easy. There we go. And then there. See how that wants to go there, but not there. So we'll get this stuck in. Now that's too big, and that's why I have the screwdriver. Much thinner. I can get her in. Okay. And that will roll and then go in. There's that one. We got this one last little piece here, which we might be able to hit that with a little whacker. There it is. Okay. Now we got to get that strap out. Once that strap's off, we can try airing it up. Let me get the strap off. All right, so another little tips or trick thing is this piece comes out of the tractor tire when you're filling it, but and then of course there's the Schrader, the little pin valve that unscrews in the inside. So when you're trying to seat the bead, most of these this is a quick detach for tools. A lot of them, if you just stick this on there with no pin and no accessory, it pushes air directly through, and you get a lot more air through this than if you're using an actual blow-up valve, a blow-up accessory. What else? You know, the whole thing. It blows it up. So you want to make sure that that's tight in there, because that piece this is the addition piece that screws into the ag equipment, the farm, maybe even garden tractor stuff. Just don't over tighten it, because it just snug, because there's an O-ring there that seals it. So you want to make sure that the bead is close to the rim where it's going to be going on, and make sure that the valve stem is not holding the tire out, which it's not. You can see that it's right up tight against the rim there. Same on this side. So now if I add air to it, and if everything is close enough, got enough hose, if everything is close enough for air to grab, this will push right on. So let's try it. It feels like she's gonna take. Just hold on to it for a minute. Look for leaks. No, we got a leak somewhere. Right over here. Right. Let's spin this around just to center that tire. Looks like right here is where it was leaking, so I'll pull the tire towards us a little, and then we'll go back this side, find the valve stem, which I probably have already, there, it's way up here. So we'll try that. Can't get it to go on there. Okay. About there. Looks like we still got a little bit of a flopple somewhere. Right there, it looks like. So, rotate it, center it. Other people, a lot of times they'll put a ratchet strap around the center of the tire, because if you go around the center of the tire, it will spread the bead out. So let's just try whacking it. The other thing you can do is put some more sealant where you think it's leaking. So we'll take a little bit of soap and we'll put it in there, and that might seal it a little bit as well as give it some sliding ability. The other thing that might be is the compressor might be down on air, just a smidgen. Okay, so we're gonna put that down. The side that's down now is the side that's being a bird, not wanting to seal. Try that. There it is again. Sorry if I'm making you guys dizzy. I'm trying to let you see this when the air takes. Come on. No. Looks like, yep. See it coming out? Launch right there. See how that's coming out to the rim? That's just air coming out of this valve stem here. But I want to keep air going in that until those come up seated, and looks like we're pretty good. Now all we have to do is put the valve core back in, which that's what the valve core looks like. Even a bicycle valve stem is the same. There, just snug, right? Just snug. Now we'll blow this up, and it'll tell you on the side not to exceed, normally it's like 30 or 35. Okay, there we go. Don't exceed 35 pounds. That's this tire though. And then mounted, you want a max air in it of 35 pounds. Now, on the tire sticker here, oh, that one says, right there, it says don't exceed 40 pounds when seating. So that's up to you guys. I try to stick with the maximum air, like the 35, but so let me get that aired up, which is boring. It takes a while because it's big tire. So let me air it up and we'll be back.